Okay, I'm gonna share my screen and it's just going to be about last week's notes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
ما يروح يجمع هذا الصراحة يقول هذاك دقيقة يجمع غير كونسونطرا هكا ثانك يو سير دوينا تسيم الطابلة سوري I'm talking to my daughter.
No worries. Hello. Okay, so for this week, talked a lot about lipids. Yes, this week is dedicated to talking about lipids. Can you tell me more about what you know about the types of lipids?
Sorry 1 second.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, this one actually I need to um yeah even like it wasn't the quiz. I remember this one. Yeah, the one it has like uh the three and what is it, nine and three. Yeah, lipid. Taking three fatty acids. Yeah, found the glucose.
So there's four type of lipids that were studied in the lectures. The first one, triglycerides, and it basically looks like three fatty acids that's bonding to glycerol. Phospholipids is a component in cell membrane, and it's very because it has a complex head and two fatty acid tails, which makes um the tails non-polar and the head polar. So that means um that one part it doesn't like water and the one does, and it creates a cell membrane through that structure with references. And then sterols, they're multi-ring structures. And the two that are primarily talked about in this class is cholesterol, phyto phytosterols. Cholesterol is found in foods of animal origin, and they are also cell membranes. And
Yeah.
there's others like testosterone, estrogen, but those aren't talked about in a nutrition class. But there's a lots of them. Um, you know what their function is? What sterols' function is?
Where the you mean the can you a question again, please? Like I couldn't. Uh,
What do you know about the function of what cholesterol does?
this is a good question. It's oh, damn. Let me think 1 second. In a positive way, of course. Yeah. Okay. It, I think it helps with cells,
Yeah,
like membranes. Yeah,
for the
with
cell
cells
membrane,
membranes.
it
Yeah,
you it helps holds the shape for cell membranes to make them more like flowy instead of rigid. And it is created by our liver, but it's also consumed. Like we could eat a lot of products that have cholesterol in it, and there's two kinds. There's low density lipoprotein, which is called bad cholesterol in quotes, okay? They don't have morals, but it's having too much of this creates plaque, which is harmful. I feel like it should be called harmful that's bad. And then HDL, which is high density lipoprotein, it is not as harmful and it takes low density lipoproteins. Well, it takes the cholesterol stored within blood vessels and transfer it to lipoproteins. I mean, to transfer to other lipoproteins. It also tells your liver to stop producing as much cholesterol. It's like collecting all the excess ones to return to the liver, so it won't produce as much.
So what the question was what gonna happen when you have a very high cholesterol? I know first like my I think it blocks your your vein. It's like it's kind of blocked, so it's not, it doesn't let like the circulation
Mm-hmm.
doing well. And then yeah, I know that. And what's I think what leads some people to replace a stent.
Mm-hmm.
This is with he can go to this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's high cholesterol,
Yeah.
when you have high, yeah. So what else? Like what's the since when the cholesterol, your cholesterol is high.
So when your cholesterol is high, the white blood cells will accumulate at the sites where the cholesterol is accumulating. So like if you smoke or if there was some like injury to the blood vessel and a bunch of cholesterol starts like gathering there as well as white blood cells like occupying that region because it's trying to take up the oxidized uh low density lipoprotein and it creates like a plaque, like a blockage. And sometimes the blockage will make the blood vessels narrow and inflexible because it's like blocking it. There's a bunch of like YouTube videos that show how blood clots form, and it basically, this is like more words to describe how that looks like. And when there's a bunch of blood passing, sometimes they can't fit, and that creates a blood clot. And if it happens like near your chest, it causes a heart attack, or if it's in somewhere in your head, it causes a stroke.
Yeah. Oh,
Any more questions about that?
yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Uh, fitness, fitness. Intention fitness on the same side as well. I can hear you. I can't hear you. I think your microphone is mute.
Oh, I was waiting for you
Oh
to
yeah.
ask a question. So I turned off my mic so I could take a bite of my
Ah, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry. I thought
sorry.
you were talking and yeah.
Are you ready to move on, or are you still waiting to ask your question?
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So, oh, this part I thought was really fun when we were learning about different products, like food groups that have fatty acids and triglycerides. Because for sometimes when you see like those food plates, the food pyramids and stuff, it has its own
Hmm.
section for like fats, like lipids. But It's in everything. Like there's fat in everything. There's lipids in everything. Fatty acids and triglycerides are in proteins and dairy products and grains and fruits and vegetables, but it's not talked about.
Especially animal product.
Yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
mostly commonly talked about in like animal products because you could see it very clearly when you buy it at a grocery store. Like pork belly, you see that huge chunk of fat and you're all like, oh, lipid. But if you look at
Yeah.
like oats, you're just like, what? Or like a wheat or something, you're just like, where what is the lipid, you know? Like where is it? But it's in there. It's just not as visual. So, do you have any examples of a protein or a dairy product, a grain or fruit and vegetables with
Uh,
fatty acids and triglycerides?
High in uh, I guess like avocado, even it's like healthy, but it has a lot of fat, right?
Mm.
Yeah, avocado, I know, like the, you mean I give you example from the vegetables or like everything? I mean,
Well, give me an example of each category that also has.
yeah, I think like for, okay, mhm. And dairy product with fatty acids. Okay, dairy, I can say, what is it, like, cheese, like let's say brie, especially like when you creamy cheese or something, skin, like everything has like yeah, yogurt, ice cream, of course. But I know, like, maybe we didn't mention, but I wanna. It's the same time. It's my question because I know cheese. Some cheese is not bad. Some like, let's say, French cheese, like it's the brie. It's the creamy one. It's dangerous. Uh, is it like, is it right, or I'm wrong?
What do you mean by dangerous?
It's too fatty. It's like too much. Too much fat, like you feel it. It's not like other cheese, like a normal cheese, like it's too creamy, and I know everything, something creamy, it's like it has too much fat, I guess. Anything creamy, like,
I think it depends on like the person and like what they're trying to because there's like yogurt that is full fat, half fat, you know, and
yeah,
like
I know, no, of course, yeah, if you choose like yeah, I give you an example myself. I was doing like I was doing the fasting, the like I tried to fast like 16 hours, like sometime 18 hours. And then when I have my breakfast, I'm trying not like having only in the morning, having only like until 12 I have a cup of coffee. I know you can have coffee, like black coffee, and like tea or anything, but not with milk or something. But I'm not sure who told me, like I don't even remember, like if you put some heavy cream, it will be fine. So for a while, like I was putting heavy cream, it's very creamy. And I was in my diet, I avoided all like the fatty stuff. And I'm not vegetarian, but I don't like meat a lot, especially red meat. I like chicken, like fish, certain fish, not all, like catfish, something, not all kind of fish. Then for a month I did that. When I was like, oh, happy. When I saw my doctor, he said, oh, you're gonna get the perfect blood test. And he was shocked. My cholesterol was very high. And they was like, I told him it's not possible, because I did my diet. I made sure I don't fry. I don't like to. I cook at home always, but no frying. Or if I wanna, like, I always bake, like, let's say, potatoes, like I'm from Algeria. We eat a lot of French fries, but myself, my family, I don't. maybe I make it once in a year or something. But he told me like it's very high. I was shocked, and I was talking to my doctor. Said like this is not possible. Yeah, and when I told him, oh wait a minute, like I'm having heavy cream like almost every day with my coffee. He said, oh, this is why your cholesterol is high. So some stuff you don't even like think maybe they are fine, but no. That's why I said dangerous. Dangerous, it means it makes you like a it makes it worse for you.
Yeah, I remember learning in my nutrition class is that anything you consume, you got to consume it in moderation. Like even if you like anything, if you eat too much of it, could be very harmful, such as like consuming water. You got to do it every day, right? But if you
Yeah.
drink like a gallon of water or like 5 gallons of water in one sitting, then definitely there's gonna be consequences that are harmful to your body. So,
Yeah,
moderation.
I know anything. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
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 And then for proteins and grains and fruit, like you said, avocado. And
Yeah.
this was kind of fun to know that even like in grains, there's even fatty acids and triglycerides. It's like it's in olives, not all, but like a lot of foods you just don't think about because it's not like visually there. Okay.
Yeah. So for grain, like I know maybe processed ones, like for the cereal or this. But like for the grain, like let's say the seeds or something, I know they have like oil, it have fatty, but I think it's a good one. It's a good cholesterol, right?
Yeah. Um, so this is when I was doing my thesis studying all-purpose flour, I learned that in a lot of grains, it comes with three parts: the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. And the germ is the part that has the lipids, it has the vitamins, it has the phytochemicals. But when you mill it and you like process it, you try to get rid of the germ because all that oils and vitamins and stuff, it makes the shelf life of the grain and the flour, and like the bread, it decreases it significantly. So if you get rid of the germ, it'll last forever on the shelf or like for a very long time. But if you get rid of the germ, you get rid of the lipids, you get rid of the vitamins. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the story of that. Okay. Lipid digestion. We briefly went over this last time when we were going through digestion. Um, it happens, it starts in the mouth as mechanical digestion. You're physically chewing, breaking it down into smaller pieces. There's linguinolipase that starts breaking down the bonds and lipids. And there's also some in the stomach, as well as gastric lipase. And in the small intestines, that's where there's more chemical digestion. Bile, which is created in, oh, I forgot. Do you remember where bile was created? Which organ?
Oh, what is that? Is it Zyme? Huh?
I think it's in the pancreas. Let me double check.
Pancreas.
Oh no, it's the
Pancreas.
liver. Okay, it's the liver. The liver, I think we talked about it last week. Oh, we didn't finish it. But the liver creates bile, and in the small intestines, it emulsifies fat, which if you ever made a salad dressing, have you ever made a salad dressing with oil and like water or liquid? It
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
separates it. That's basically what bile does. And that helps create more surface area to help break apart larger droplets of fat into smaller droplets. And then digestive enzymes can break it down even more. And specifically, oh, I think I talked about this in the Jeopardy. Were you able to come to the Jeopardy thing I did for the midterm review?
I came last Friday.
Yeah. Do you remember when I was talking about like tracking how lipids move through the small intestines, through the not through the hepatic portal, but it goes through your oh, it enters through the hepatic portal and it travels to the bloodstream, then to the liver. You remember when we were talking about that?
Yeah, yeah. Last right there, yeah. Hamburg lips. I see that I'm so curious on these things and child fatty acid.
Here, I'm gonna pull up that Jeopardy real quick.
Sure.
I thought it was very helpful, but what is it? There it is. It was in the digestive system again. So it cannot be absorbed by the small intestine through the hepatic portal to the liver because it's too big. Molecularly, it has a lot of chains, it's very long, it's too big. It enters through the lacteals. That was where I was trying to remember it. It enters through the lacteals, travels through the lymphatic system to the bloodstream, and is stored in adipose tissue. Any questions about this?
No, because this is too big. Yeah, so bloodstream. Yeah, I'm okay. This is, yeah, like my question, maybe it's not nothing you mentioned there, but I always like I hear a lot people they take off their bladder. So is it like not bad if they? I mean, of course, it has a function in your body. So how come like if they get rid of it, like how we what's bad about it, like you can change in your like function in your body. I always curious, like I want to have a explanation about this.
Specifically, the
I
bladder?
know every organ has its function, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like because I know many people, it's very common, they you hear someone did surgery and uh, they took off their bladder. So what, and they I think uh, and I know it's like maybe the I heard the doctor ask, I always recommend like not you need to avoid fat.
Mhm.
Yeah, so do you know about this, or if you don't want to like explain it, it's fine.
Well, what I know is that, like what you said, certain parts in our body do certain functions. And sometimes
Yeah.
when you lose chunks of your small intestines, I know more about the small intestines, but not much about the bladder. I know you have two bladders and two kidneys. And sometimes when you lose one, your other one has to work extra hard to overcompensate it. And sometimes it can't handle it. So people get like transplants and stuff like that. But like specifically with the small intestines, it has every section of the small intestines actually absorbs different vitamins, minerals, or like macronutrients, you know? So if you take out a chunk of that, whether through like surgery because there's cancer or like something happens or you're trying to lose weight or something, like have you heard of people try to do that because they want to like lose weight? They take like surgically remove parts of their digestive system. And because you're removing
Mm-hmm.
parts of your small intestines, that part that absorbs that nutrient normally can't do it anymore. And so your body is going to not get as much as that nutrients. Like the other parts of your small intestine will try to overcompensate by trying to do it, but it won't be as effective. It will eventually adjust to some degree, but maybe not have the full effect of the part that originally did it. But it it does a huge impact on how you absorb if it gets taken out. So I'm assuming it might be the same for
Oh,
the organs. You like it definitely shifts you out of equilibrium.
okay.
So for your brother,
Okay.
when he got his bladder taken out, did he notice anything else about like his condition besides like the fat, like
Actually, not my brother, my husband.
I mean, sorry, go
But
ahead.
like, yeah, and very common, like friends, like a lot of people I know that just like sometime I ignore what's the how, like why, I mean, with the cause.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's very,
the whole thing about like reducing like fat. So because if you're like small intestine or whatever organ that gets removed, you can't absorb that nutrients or work with it. Or like for like a kidney, it can't filter the same rate. So you do have to take things out of your diet so you are not overloading that organ or like overloading that part. Like I had a friend who has a sibling who recently had to do a liver transplant and like the sibling they are doing really fine, but I had to like cut down on so many things. Like can't eat ice cream anymore because like a lot of things because it will overload
oh
the
yeah,
new kidney.
mhm.
So it's like yeah,
So they need to do the fatty diet, right?
yeah, they
Like
have to
just
take
avoid,
out a
yeah.
lot just to make sure they could go back to like some ordinary function without overloading.
Okay, makes sense.
Mhm. Okay. We did not talk. Oh, we didn't talk about chylomicrons. Do you remember anything about that?
Where is that? Where is it?
Liposarcoma. This one's really fun to think about. I wish I had a picture of it. But it basically, when all of the lipids break down in your small intestines and enter it, is reassembles in these lipoprotein chylomicrons, which transport it from small intestine to cells. So it's like imagine if this was just like a truck inside of you, and the only thing it carries is lipids.
Oh wow.
It's really cute. They just like carry that.
Yeah, that really is good candy.
Okay. And then lipid use. Oh, do you remember how much calories that lipids offer per gram?
Oh, is it like how many grams? Gram?
Per gram. How many
9?
calories? Yep. It's
9, 9?
nutrient dense. I mean energy dense. Like it has the most out of all the macronutrients.
Okay.
And this is really cool. Our bodies struggle sometimes to store, like you can't store minerals and vitamins indefinitely. At some point, it could be like a toxic level. Like if you consume too much of a certain like mineral that you can't flush out easily, like it starts becoming very toxic and creating harmful symptoms and signs in your body. But for lipids, our bodies could store indefinitely because it's like a survival mechanism. I always think about like why we have these systems sometimes based on like back then, like hunters and gatherers, why this system was in
Yeah.
place. Like if there was like a famine or a food shortage or something, um, having a lot of lipids to be stored for when there's a lot of food, like there was a good harvest, but you'll never know when the next famine is. It's a survival thing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. And adipose cells are the primary stores for lipids. It can increase 50 times in weight, which is really impressive because cells are so small. So if they could grow that big just to hold lipids, I think it's pretty impressive. And the primary functions of lipids is for insulation and to protect our organs.
60% of human brain.
Yeah, it keeps us warm, make sure our organs stay safe, cushioning. And specifically in cell membranes, they're phospholipid bilayers. They help protect the cell. They regulate what goes in and what goes out. It's very complex, but it's really important. So the cells have some control, and like all the osmotic pressure is like controlled through the selective membrane. Oh, and our brains are 60% human. I mean, our brains are 60%.
Wow. Well, when you think how like all these details in your our body, you just like, oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Do you have any questions, or do you just want me to keep going until our time is up?
Yeah, yeah. Keep going. Try.
Myelin sheath is also lipid based and it surrounds our nerve cells and it helps keeps them insulated so they can move faster, but not all nerves are covered in myelin sheath. It's just has lipids in it. Okay. Signs of essential acid deficiency. There's two essential acids that were talked about in class, omega-6 and omega-3. You remember? And the only difference
Yeah.
is the carbon it's on. And why do we have to consume essential fatty acids? You remember?
Fatty acid. Fatty acid.
Like, why do we need to consume them?
Oh,
What function do they have?
oh, like it many functions. I guess like you don't have the dry. Uh, I mean, to when you have in your meal like the fat, it's good for your skin.
Mhm.
Yeah, for your skin, for many things, for like grow. I think it's very important for the body to grow too, especially kids.
Yes.
And what is it? Or something else like uh, what is it? Um, like for to lose, maybe it's good for your hair too to don't lose hair. I mean, most everything it's good. It has its function in the body. If we need everything, the fat, the all that we need to, of course, eat the whole like the four we need from the four groups of food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything. We need everything.
yeah. Um,
So it's good. It's good for yeah, no, like your skin. First things I know about the skin and uh,
ooh,
and your hair saturate more than butter beef that.
I also want to cover coconut oil real quick before our time is up because this was,
Yeah, yeah. I have thanks for bringing that up because um, I had an argument with my family about the coconut oil. They told me it's good. It's good. They said like I mean it's you need to avoid it. You don't like have like it's better to use olive oil than coconut oil, right?
well, it depends. So the
Uh-huh.
one thing that my dietitian professor last year told me is that coconut oil, because it has more saturated fats than butter or beef and fat, it actually helps people who are malnourished gain weight the fastest. So, like, if you're in the hospital and you like are having a lot of health problems and you need to gain weight or something like that, consuming coconut oil helps that the most. And it's because it's like a dense source of calories, it's highly saturated, and but like there's always a but. Because coconut oil, I remember learning it is highly saturated. It could cause an increased level of low density lipoprotein cholesterol, which is the thing that could cause like blood clots. Like if you get an injury to your blood vessel and a bunch of low density lipoprotein accumulates and the white blood cells gather there, then it could cause blood clots, which leads to heart attack and stroke. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So and also like I wanna just explanation about the I know for the fat when it's also good to I mean if you don't have it in your food it's like you can have headaches. Is it true?
You could get a
But
lot of health problems if you don't consume enough fat in your diet. And You could lose your hair. You could experience diarrhea. Your skin gets flaky. Headaches could, because you know your brain is 60% fat, right? So I could
Yeah.
like it. I could see that being a possibility. Okay, our time
Yeah.
is up. I could email you
Oh,
the
thank you so much.
over.
Thank you.
Let me know if you have any more questions. Okay, you're welcome to email
Thank
me.
you so much. It's always fun to. I mean, of course, I wish everyone is here, but for me, it's more like decorative when I'm only you and me, so I can have questions. And yeah, thank you so much.
First,
Thank you.
goodbye.
Bye. Have a good one. Thank you.